All right, Chris. This is your idea, so I'll send it to you. We're doing top three here, Thanksgiving food drinks. I'll shoot it to you here. What do you got?
All right, how about I go one and then you go one and then we snake draft here kind of on these top things here. Um my first my first number one is just Thanksgiving is maybe my favorite holiday. Just because it's you don't have to give out. There's very little responsibilities of something like that you'd have on Christmas. You don't have to give out any gifts. You're just making a really nice meal. You're having some good food. Uh, for me, I appreciate not having to travel, so that's kind of nice. I'm stuck out of here in Seattle, so the first one for me is that first cracked beer of Thanksgiving. Maybe it's slightly before noon, but you're prepping the turkey or whatever your bird going into the oven, and you're just it's an exciting time, and you want to make sure you get it right. And so without that, you kind of need your first beer. And so I'm going to leave that as my number one drink, and then I'll get into my I'll do main appetizer, main course, and then I'll do the after dinner option here. So my first one is the first beer cracked, and typically a Miller High Life because it's a celebration. You need a little champagne.
What time is your first cracked beer? Yeah.
11 a.m. I don't know. Depends.
11
I
a.m.
think
Okay.
if you get the smoker, I'm going to be smoking. Actually, I'll get into this in my main course, but yeah, you get the smoker going early. You got to have, just verify that everything's working well, and it's an important time.
It's kind of funny that you said that because I was actually my number one was also going to be a drink. So I'm going a little different here. I'm just going, a good bottle, a nice bottle of red wine. Um, I mean, I feel like if Thanksgiving wouldn't be Thanksgiving without red wine, personally. And you
Absolutely.
start this. The best idea you start the red wine before your meal. Like I mean, you're starting your first beer. Maybe you do beer. We're not doing red wine at 11 a.m. is what I say. So depending
Yeah,
on what
that
time you eat, let's say you eat, it's like a 3 o'clock dinner. You want to maybe open the bottle up at 1, let it breathe a little bit, maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock. You get at least one glass in before the meal, so you got something good going on. It's like, okay, I'm ready for the food. Get the nice wine buzz going, and then you have more wine with your meal, and then by the time the meal is over, you're feeling pretty good about yourself, is what I'll say. You've had at least 2 glasses, 3 glasses by the time the meal's ending, and you're feeling pretty good. You just got to spread it out. You don't want to overload. You just got to spread it out a little bit. So that's why you start before the meal.
I think that's a strong play for sure. That you can't, and good note. You can't have red wine before noon, otherwise you're like I don't know. You gotta have some serious conversations with yourself. Um, well, I think that's a strong take. Definitely got to have a good bottle of red on Thanksgiving. Um, I'm gonna go to my second choice. Um, let's see here. So, all right, candidly, turkey maybe not my favorite meat ever. So that's why we smoke a turkey. We get a nice salty, good brine going. So I'm gonna leave that one off my pick here because I'm not really that big of a turkey guy. But I will say I always do some steaks, some really nice steaks for Thanksgiving. So that's what I'm going wild card here. Beer before maybe before noon, and then I'm gonna go steak with like a nice compound butter. Get your sprigs of your herbs in there, and I'm going steak for Thanksgiving as my second pick
Wow.
over. Yeah, so I got to switch it up here.
I've never heard about people eating steak on Thanksgiving.
This will be
Is
my
this
fourth Thanksgiving that I do a really nice steak because I will smoke the turkey and I will have some turkey, but it's such an overrated meat, and so it's like let's get the good meat in there.
that's fair. You know what? I'm gonna change out my ranking here. I'm just gonna come out here. Turkey gets a lot of hate.
Wow.
Everyone, every podcaster, everyone I listen to is just like, turkey sucks. I hate turkey. I don't know why we have it on Thanksgiving. We eat something else. But you know what? At least once a year, you gotta have turkey. I don't care about the deli sliced turkey. You gotta have real turkey. Uh, no matter how you cook it, spatchcock. I know you're a spatchcocker, so you
I'm a huge
spatchcock in the
here.
past.
No spatchcock and hard.
So I'm just here, like, people hate on turkey so much that I'm here to give turkey some love. Like, it's been, if we're all about tradition here, we got to have turkey, and no matter how you have it, I'll have turkey on Thanksgiving till the day I die, and it's making my top 3 list.
I appreciate the variety of take here, and I love that you've gone strong traditionalism here with the red wine and the turkey, and I've gone beer and and
I'm a big
and not
traditionalist.
even turkey, but no, I mean you're right. Like it's a popular take to not like turkey. Like people are there seems like we're monopolizing the not liking turkey thing, but a good turkey's good. You got the leftover turkey sandwich. We always turn it into like the leftover turkey into like a turkey tetrazzini or like some sort of white sauce kind of little pasta, which is always good. Get a little white wine in there too. So I like the turkey as your second overall.
So do I. I think it's a great pick, and anyone who hates it, then too bad. Number 3, what do you got?
3. I went back and forth on this so many times, but I think, man, this is tough. But I thought, all right, so I'm going to list the ones that didn't make the cut, and that's the first one that didn't make the cut is a digestive, whether that's like a cup of coffee after your big dinner or like there's the liquors
If
that
that
people will
made
have.
the list, if that was a
that would
top
be
3
crazy.
on your list,
It's just a shout out to how my a 30 plus tummy. You got to get those things. It needs to be moving around in there, but it didn't make the cut. I'm gonna give the other thing that didn't make the cut was a nice salad. I think salad at Thanksgiving is an underrated thing. You're eating so many things that are gonna like sit in your stomach and just like not move. So salad keeps things moving, make sure that you can operate later in the evening and in the next morning. But I think finally, and this could be said for pretty much any meal, but a good piece of bread is absolutely necessary to sop up the gravy, to sop up whatever juices you're getting from the turkey.
the compound butter,
The compound butter. The compound butter. You make a little extra so that you can slobber that all over a nice like a dinner
Wait,
roll.
this is your number 3?
This is my number 3. Is the
bread?
dinner roll.
Okay.
At Thanksgiving, not just we're not talking like a random piece of bread here. We're talking a nice dinner roll.
Yeah.
It's been proofed, like it's taken time. It's an artisanal piece of bread here, and it sops up all the stuff that you didn't quite get to with your fork. You get a little taters in there. You make a little bread taco, if you will. Even if we want to go across cultures here, but I love a good I love a good piece of bread, and not just some lame store bought. It's got to be a good dinner roll here. Get all the butter, get all the grease, get all whatever you need in there, and sop that sucker up, and it's a good bite.
I thought about dinner roll, but I didn't have it on mine. Steve Parada is telling us sweet potatoes are the GOAT. I almost put sweet potatoes on there. I think they're very versatile. And again, it's another thing that people, I was just listening to a podcast this morning and they said sweet potatoes were the most overrated food in the world. And I almost turned the podcast off right there because
that's an unsubscribe right there.
It's blasphemy. First off, as a traditionalist, we got to have the green bean casserole. That also is a possibility. But as people remember, I'm sure they remember from the cookie rankings, I got a bit of a sweet tooth, so I got to go dessert. My number 1 here, we got pecan pie. It's close between the pumpkin and the pecan pie, but I just like the crispy top a little bit more for the pecan pie. Doesn't taste. It's not overwhelmingly pecan-y, if you know what I mean. It's not like too nutty. It's like I'm like eating pecans by themselves. Not my favorite thing, but put it with some extra sugar, put in with some crust. A little bit of a glaze. That's what I'm talking about right there. So we got pecan pie. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitter, check this out. Thanksgiving rankings. We're both 3-0. There we go, Chris. What do you think about what's your favorite dessert?
I love the shout on pecan pie because that is by far the best pie.
There we go.
Yeah, pecan pie with ice cream, like heat it up and then you give me a little vanilla ice cream on the side. I think that I would agree with you that that might be my favorite dessert.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. You know, my mom a lot of times usually makes like both pumpkin pie and pecan pie, but usually usually it's a little slice of each, but usually prefer the pecan.
Yeah. If I had to, I mean, another ranking on a ranking here, but pecan, apple, and then pumpkin of the Thanksgiving pies in that order.
Mm,
Pumpkin's just
apple
kind of
last for
like
me. Apple last.
really wow. Oof. Well,
Y-
your bets are
Maybe you
better
haven't
than
had a
your
good
Thanksgiving
pumpkin
takes.
pie.
I love pumpkin pie. It's good too, but
All right, we got 10 minutes on the Thanksgiving rankings here. You can find Chris at CHR Owen 8 on Twitter. I'm at Roto Zdroik.